Hey there, what's up? How you guys doing? Welcome back to Icris today, and this is the third episode of our exciting series where we're going to build a digital course selling platform through Next.js. So, in the previous video, we have added authentication in our application through Clerk, and it was super easy to integrate it in our application. So, today in this video, we're going to check whether the user is registered in our database or not. If not, then we're going to register the user in our database, and if it is already, then we're going to pass that thing. Okay. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. All right, so let me run my server npm run dev, and while the server is being started, let me run the Convex server as well. Npx convex dev. Oh, sorry, my bad. Npx convex dev. Oh, my bad. Dev. All right. Now let me open the Convex user interface as well. Alright, so now there's nothing in our table. So first we are going to create a user table that will store all the data related to the user, and then we're going to do further things. Okay. So to create the user table, first we need to create a new file in this Convex folder. So head over to that and create a new file called schema.js. And inside this, first of all, we'll write export default define schema from Convex. Okay, so inside the define schema, we will create a table called user, and here we'll define table, and here inside this wait a second, it is not like this. Okay, small bracket, then inside that we're going to use curly bracket, and inside this we're going to mention all the field that we want in our database. So first I want is username, which will be v, and we need to import the v from Convex values without string as well. And after that we're going to store email of the user, and it will be v dot string as well, and then profile URL will be v dot string. Okay, so right now I'm defining column for this thing: username, email, and profile user. And once it is completed, we're going to add other thing in the table in the future. Okay, so first let us do this thing only. So now we need to create some functions to insert something in the table. So in Convex, there are two things: queries and mutation. Mutation are used to perform a a writing, deleting, and updating functions, whereas the queries are used to retrieve the value from the table. So we're going to create a mutation. So here, let me create a file called user.js, and here let me write export const and register user, and it will be a mutation. All right, so inside this first we're going to take some arguments, and the arguments will be let me pass this thing as it is. So we're going to take username, email, and profile URL as the argument, and after that we're going to set up a handler, and inside the handler we'll write ctx and then arguments. Okay, so we'll run another function right over here, and you need to give a column over here, and let me make it a async function. So first we are going to check whether the user exists or not. Let me create a variable const user equals await ctx.db dot, and as I have told you, we're going to read the value, so we're going to use query. And inside the query, let me run a function where I'm passing the q as parameter. Okay, so inside this, inside the query, inside the queue, there's a method called eq, which is used to check if the right hand value is equal to left hand value or not. So I need to import the v as well from Convex values. Okay, so I have done a mistake right over here. So after writing db or query, so we need to provide the table right over here. So we're going to fetch through users table, and here we need to write filter, and inside the filter we need to call that. So let me pass q in the parameter, and inside this function write q dot eq. Okay, so it will check if the left hand side expression is equal to right hand side. Okay, so we want to take q dot field, and which will be email. of the user, and we're going to compare this thing with arguments dot email. All right, and we're going to collect all the data. All right, so let us set a condition if the user does not exist. So if user what dot length equals 0, if there's no user data in the database, then we're going to insert it await db ctx dot db dot insert in the users table, and here we're going to insert this thing. So let me copy, and instead of this thing, let me write. Okay, so let me delete everything at first. Dot username, and here let me replace this with email, and let me replace this with profile URL. Separate all this thing with a comma. And now our function is ready. So let me return something like return user inserted successfully. And if not, if the user is already there, so I'm just going to return that thing, user already exists. All right, so now our mutation is completed. We just need to use this thing. So I'm going to use this thing in the root layout, not in dashboard page.js. I'm going to use this in the page.js in the root directory. So from here, let me remove this, and let me remove the button component as well. And here, so here I'm going to use the mutation. So to do that, first I need to have the data about the user. So let me instead of return okay, so let me add the button. Okay, so above, let me create a user. Const user will be use user. Okay, so it is coming from Clerk Next.js. It will return us the data about the user, which is all managed by the clerk. And let me write register user will be. So since we have created the mutation, so we need to use that use mutation, and inside this API dot users dot register user. So we are taking this function from user table. Okay, and once we have done that, let me create a function to check the user if it is there or not. Const check user. Check user will be arrow function. And here, since we're going to retrieve the data, so let me make it to a sync function. And inside this, let me create a variable called result will be await ctl, not ctx, register user. And inside the parameter, we need to pass the value. Username will be from users, not user what dot full name, I think. Okay, full name, and then user, not user, email will be user what dot primary email address what dot email address. It will return us the email address of the user. And then we have profile URL, user what dot, not profile URL, I think it is image URL. Okay, and like, okay, so we have completed all the things. So now let me console log the result as well, console dot log result as well. And then I need to call this function. So I'm going to use effect, and inside this, let me run a arrow function, and it will run when the user is there. So let me pass the user right over here. And what we're going to run, we're going to run this check user, and we're going to run this check user when the user is available. So user and then check user. And I think we are good to go. So let me see the server. Okay, server is ready. Now let us visit the server, localhost 3000. Okay, so since I'm using use effect in other thing, I need to convert it to client component. Use client. Let me go on console section, and here, okay, user inserted successfully. Now if I go over here, then you can see ID, email, and profile user, profile URL, username, and creation time is there. So now the user has been inserted successfully, and that's how you can use the like add the user in the database. So if I go and logged in again, then it will return me like the user already exists. So if there's any data, like if there's anything that is not being received, then it might also cause the error in the application. So I don't know why this error is like occurring, but it is not like doing multiple, uh, like it is not adding multiple entries. So I don't know about this thing. So if you know, then do let me know in the comment section. So I don't know what exactly happened over there. So we can add we can do some changes as well. So here we can add some condition, another condition. So if the user is not there or user length is 0, then we can run this as well. So I think that's the one who is giving the error according to me. And if you know, then do let me in the comment section. So now that we have completed the authentication system and we are storing the user in the database as well, so it's time to design the layout of our dashboard. So I have a design. So let me share that design with you all. All right, so this is my design and I think it will look great. So first of all, we're going to go with this thing, and in the future, we're going to upgrade this and we're going to create even more awesome UI than this. All right. So at first in the dashboard, let me go and create a file called layout.js. It will be the layout for dashboard, and RAFCE and dashboard layout. Inside this, let me create another div, and there will be, wait a minute, there will be another div as well, and it will be for sidebar. So let me create a folder called underscore components, and inside this let me create a file called sidebar.js sidebar. And okay, so in the page we got dashboard, and this thing in the layout we're going to accept the children, and we're going to render the children right over here, and here we will have our sidebar component. Let's see. All right, so now we got dashboard and we got the sidebar component. So if you look at this thing, then it is like this, and we got a header as well. So here let me create a component called header.js, and in the layout, uh, in this sidebar, no, I think it should be above the sidebar. Okay, let me put it above the sidebar. We'll manage all this thing later. So now what I need to do is I need to make this sidebar working. So in the sidebar, first let me give it a class name, height full, with auto, and then PG rate, okay, this much. And in the layout, let me, okay, so this is the main div. Let me remove the header at first. So in the class name, we provide it a class name of grid column 4, and here class name call span of 1, and it will take the call span of class name full span of 3. Let me increase it to 5 and let me increase this to 4 and let me give it a background slit 300 and here let me give some properties as well. Height in this main div, height screen. Alright, there you go. Now our sidebar is there and our dashboard thing is right over here. So first of all, we're going to add a logo. So in this sidebar component, let me remove this so that it will have a slit background. And in this thing, there will be a logo. So let me write h1 for a logo. And here we will write Icris. You can put whatever you want. So let me just write Icris Studio and in the class name, let me write text OXL font bold. So let me give this thing some padding of like 4 pixel. And after that, let me create a div for item container. Give it class name empty10. And inside this, let me create a div and it will store dashboard icon from Lucid React. Let me use this one, layout dashboard. And beside this, it will have a text in span called dashboard. And let me give this a class name flex row item center. And it will have a gap of 2. All right, now it is okay. So let me replicate all this thing. So instead in this span, let me give it a class name text Excel semi bold. Okay, this thing will look a bit nice. So let me copy this div, paste it over here, again. So now we need to give some thing. Okay, so in the dashboard, after the dashboard, we will give it empty like 5 in all this thing, empty 5. So they will have a better spacing. And after the dashboard, we have courses. And then we have contact upgrade. Was this upgrade or something? Okay, upgrade and then only contact. So in the course, we will add a book icon. See which one looks great. Okay, this one. Okay, book text. And in the upgrade, sealed would look better. This one, and in the contact phone, only phone. Let's see. Okay. And here, what else we can do? Let me set this height to 8 and width to 8 also. Let me do this same for all the item. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Let me add some hover effect as well in this main container. So many of you are wondering like how do I get this multiple cursor? So use Alt and click and then it will give you multiple cursor. So here let me add hover, BG slit. 400 because 300 is the background. All right, so let us give some padding over here. Okay. P4. Is this enough? That's way more. P3 will be enough. And it will be rounded MD. And cursor will be pointer. All right, there we go. So is there anything that I need to change? No, there's nothing. All right, so I think I should make this thing a bit okay, so let me give this about 16. So now this looks a bit better. And now let us work for this header thing. So in the page, I can do this thing. So in the page, let me give it a class name flex row, justify between, and then padding of 4 pixel and BG slit 300 to match the color with this thing. So it is not looking that good. So let me keep it to 200. What about 200? Okay, so you all can do about the front end. And let me put a span from this thing. Okay, dashboard. Instead of text SL, let me put MD, Control S, dashboard. I think I don't have to put this thing right over here. We need a search bar as well. So for the input, let me go on Sat-CDN. So first let me add the component. Let me open a new terminal. Inside this, let me, all right, so now our component is ready. Let me go and extract this code. So let me look up for the code, and here's the code. Let me put this thing right over here. Let me import this all component. Let me have a look at the website. All right. So instead of this thing, what if I do like space x10? PG slit 100. Let's use the search icon from Lucid React. And there you go. So yeah, that's much for this video. In the next video, we're going to work on a few other things. So if you found this video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe us and join us in this exciting journey. So yeah, that's it. I'll catch you in next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.